Now, I want you to tell my audience what's your vision for Africa in the next 20, 30 years. Okay, how do you see Africa in the next 20, 30 years?
I think it's, the Bible, one of the greatest book ever written, said when the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? The biggest problem that's faced Africa is that our foundation, is faulty. Okay. I think, if I'm being very brutally honest, we got our freedom too prematurely.
Ooh.
And that's why we've gone back to enslave ourselves. We talked about the colonial master, the slavery, but now where we live in now, we're actually enslaved ourselves. How many times has a British Prime Minister flown to Nigeria to seek for medication? How many times is the President of the United States of America, gone to Nigeria for advice? How many times, has the UK had to import even we have rice, all right? We have rice, in the northern part of Nigeria. How many of those rice has the UK signed a bilateral agreement for us to now become one of the largest rice supplier to the UK or even to Europe? So the foundation has been built quite soft. You even now have Nigerians who say, oh no, I don't eat Nigerian rice. I want to eat foreign rice. Right? So the vision for me in Africa, I want to see a Nigeria that we have great minds. Because the thing about Nigeria, and especially Africa, is we have great minds. Africa are becoming one of the best brains, but yet we're suffering. Africa has the brightest stars, but yet how come we're not leading from the front and still leading behind? Right? One of traffic lights today was invented by a Nigerian, a black man. Drones was invented by a black man, an American.
Really?
Gatwick Airport is owned by a Nigerian.
Okay, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
But how come? Just look. You go to the Nigerian airport, it's like I can't even. When I get into, you see, I always try to just keep my cool when it comes to that because it just pains me. How many times have you seen a Gordon Brown, a Boris Johnson, what was the name of the last prime minister before Theresa May, holidaying in Nigeria? But you see a Buhari, an Obasanjo, all the previous presidents holidaying in the UK. Right? So I think, if I'm being honest, we're lost. And let me give you a very simple example in this vision of Nigeria. If you take the UK now as a nation and you import everyone straight to Nigeria and then import all Nigerians back to the UK, 20 years from now, all Nigerians will be migrating back will be migrating back because they would have fixed Nigeria. Will you see all of us migrating back? But the thing is, we don't fix. We're in this. I think the vision for Nigeria should be, or Africa. I'm using Nigeria because I'm quite passionate about my country. We need to create Africa that works. Look, the EU works. The European Union works. African Union. How often do you hear about African Union? There's AU. There's AU.
Yeah.
When COVID struck, we were depending on Europe to bring us cure for COVID.
Yeah.
But the EU, all right, they were busy. So I think EU needs to see what AU needs to see what EU is doing. African Union needs to see what European is doing. They need to even policing their borders, right? So I think Africa needs to wake up. Africa needs to really wake up. There should be a mindset of this embezzlement that has been created that needs to be completely, deleted. I think Africa needs a total reorientation. We need to go back to the basic and build. The foundation is faulty. When the foundation is faulty, the only thing the righteous do is to destroy and to rebuild. Africa needs to be rebuilt.
Wow. 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 See me see, wow. Because you just said something that many young Africans will be very angry about. Okay. They will be so angry at you for saying that. Yes, because I've tried to say a little bit of what you said, and the backlash from them has been massive. Okay. Yes, our foundation is faulty, very faulty. And we need to rebuild it.
Yep.
And until we acknowledge how faulty it is,
yep,
and we agree to rebuild it,
yep,
we are not going anywhere. Okay. And that's exactly why I have this podcast, for us to start talking about these things. Wow. Daniel, I thank you.
It's deep. It is deep.
Yes.
You know, it is really deep, because there's work to be done. You know, in order for me to become the person I am today, I went through challenges, I went through processes, I went through different things, and I was going to quit. I felt like, it's not possible, and being honest, I had to rewire my brain. I had to change my circle. I had to listen to people who have done it. The fact is, when it comes to Africa, we all come here all the time. We come here, we spend money, we come here, we spend money, we go to Harrods, we spend money. If we build the first structure, Harrods will build in Lagos.
Yeah, definitely.
If we build the right infrastructure, Sainsbury's will expand into Nigeria. Until we really seriously create an enabling of what all this Western community, with the Western world, they've overdeveloped already.
Yeah.
Though there's still cities, the Western communities are overdeveloped already. Though there's still cities that still need development, and there's still no room for development. But guess what they do? Why do you keep seeing the change? I'll give an example. I live in Bromley. Lewisham is not too far away from me. Over there's been a regenerational plan going up in Lewisham. The average sale property price in Lewisham alone now is about £500,000. Say 8 years ago, 10 years ago, the average sale price in Lewisham was about 250.
Wow.
So what it has doubled. So what do they do to bring those new investments? All right, they go back to the basic. They destroy. All the factories and everything is no longer working. They rebuild. They created an enabling environment that then allow investors, creative people, great minds to mastermind. And then from the mastermind comes creativity. From creativity comes what? The plan.
Yeah.
So until Africa come together to unite, mastermind, allow themselves to be great, because we have great minds. But the point is that everybody's right. In Africa, everybody's right. Who shall lead us? Who? Nobody.
Wow. Daniel, at this point, I would say thank you very much for being a good guest, a great guest of Think Big for Africa podcast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing having me here. It's been amazing. I had a great conversation. Thank you so much for having me. Just by the way, for any one of you who are listening to this podcast and you want to get into your wealth creation and you want to build a legacy, for yourself and your family, make sure you go and follow me on social media, on LinkedIn, Dr. Daniel Moses, and on Facebook, Dr. Daniel Moses, Instagram, Dr. Daniel Moses. And if you want to know more about what I do visit my website, which is www.propertywe.co.uk. And there you will find out about my mentorship program and every other thing else. Thank you so much.
Daniel, I would collect all this information. I will add them to the conversation notes. Okay. Right.
Fantastic.
Thank
you
you
so much for having me. God bless.
Bye.
Right.